Hello and welcome to another episode of Rob's Ramblings here on the Bucks and Six channel. Today at the Brown Table Sports Card Collecting, I'm feeling a little nostalgic about baseball seasons gone by. As a Brewer fan, we don't have any championships that we can hang our hat on, and so instead of being able to look back on championships, as a Brewer fan, what I end up doing a lot of times this time of year when the season's just fresh and we have hope springs eternal, I usually think back on some of the more memorable seasons that we have had, because even though we haven't won any championships, that doesn't mean that it's been all miserable and sadness for Brewer fans. We have had some good times. And so today, what I'd like to do is remember not just one season, but particularly one man who created a memory for Brewer fans that I will treasure forever. And that man is CC Sabathia. It is unusual to say that about a guy who, in his entire long, historic Hall of Fame career, he only had 17 games where he appeared as a Milwaukee Brewer, but those 17 games were super meaningful. I don't know that people really realize outside of the state of Wisconsin what he did for our franchise. Going into the 2008 season, we're on a 26 year drought of no playoffs. That's not just 26 years without a championship. That's 26 years without ever even making it to the playoffs. And as a Brewer fan, that was some pretty hard times when I was a kid growing up, and as my young adult life, I just never had that opportunity to celebrate my team having any kind of sustained success. But around came 2008. We had a nice core group of players, including Prince Fielder and Ricky Weeks and Ryan Braun and a bunch of kind of veteran mix that was in there. Craig Counsell actually played for the team, and Mike Cameron. We had a real nice mix of players, but we just didn't have that horse starting pitcher that we knew we could rely on. And in June, the Brewers did something unheard of for the franchise. We swung for the fences and we made a trade and landed CC Sabathia. And it didn't take long for him to endear himself to the Milwaukee fans. His first 7 starts, he went 6-0, had an ERA of 1.58, and he had 4 complete games. I mean, that is unreal, especially nowadays. Of course, this was a while ago now, but even back in 2008, it was pretty rare for starting pitchers to have complete games. And he had 4 complete games in his first 7 starts as a Brewer. So as a Brewer fan, we knew this was a guy we could hang our hat on. We knew he was going to go out there and give us everything he had. And all told, he had 17 starts. And in those 17 starts, he had 7 complete games. If that doesn't tell you what kind of a horse he was for us, I don't know what would. But he just really lit a spark, not only for the pitching staff, but he just lit a spark in our clubhouse, and really was a leader for the team and led us to what eventually ended up being a wild card bid, which was still in the playoffs, baby, and we were thrilled to be there. So I just have some cards of CC Sabathia because he was one of those guys that gave me some real quality memories as a baseball fan. He's a guy that I have started collecting, even cards that weren't with him as a Brewer, because honestly, if you're going to collect CC Sabathia, there aren't too many cards of him as a Brewer, because like I said, he only pitched 17 times in a Brewer uniform. The rest of his career was Cleveland and the Yankees. So I have some cards I'm going to show today. The first one here, this is a black and white card. This is a Topps black and white, remembering his 3,000th strikeout. I believe it has the date on the back where he did that. Yeah, so it was his 3,000th strikeout. Happened on April 30th, 2019. And this card is commemorating that feat, that he did get to 3,000 strikeouts. He didn't get a whole lot more than 3,000 because I don't even think he got up to 3,100. I think it was like high 3,000, maybe 3,090, something like that, but he ended up with. But still, that's a pretty significant number nowadays that's not going to be hit by too many people. The next one, this isn't really anything in particularly uh, exciting as far as the hobby goes. This is a Panini Select. And it was just a card that I don't necessarily collect Panini in baseball a whole lot because of the licensing. They don't have the license, but this has got a really cool shine to it. And I don't care so much that it doesn't have the logo on it because I don't really remember him as a Yankee. I remember him because of what he did for the Brewers. So not having a Yankee logo on the hat, that doesn't bother me in the slightest. I just love the way this card looked. I think it was one of these dollar bin pickups, and it just looks real sharp. So I picked that one up. That's a cool looking card. The next one, I went on a kick for Topps tribute cards a while back, and I was just buying Topps tribute cards quite frequently, and I saw this one. This is just a beautiful card. You can see the shine on these Topps tribute cards. This is from 2011. It's numbered 6 out of 199 up there in the corner. So that's a cool looking card. Again, it's not of him as a Brewer. It's a Yankee, but still, that is just a gorgeous card. I love the Topps tribute cards. So I picked that one up when I was kind of on my search. And one thing I forgot to mention about this one here, this one is also numbered. It's numbered to 50. And you can see this one is also numbered to 6. So I have two serial numbered CC Sabathia cards, and they both happen to be number 6. Just an odd coincidence. He wasn't number 6. I think he wore number 52. But at any rate, the next card, this is another kind of a dollar bin type of a card, but this one has some special meaning to me because this is an Allen and Ginter 2011. And it's just a base card. I'm not really in love with the look of this card, but because I really have an affinity for Allen and Ginter cards, but this one didn't really do it for me. But the reason why this card is fairly special to me is this was a gift given to me by one of my students that knew that I was a Brewer fan. And one day this young man asked me, who is your favorite Brewer pitcher? Because he knew I liked Robin Yount and Jim Gantner, but he wanted to know who my favorite Brewer pitcher was. And off the top of my head, there's so many good Brewer pitchers, but CC Sabathia was the one that came out of my mouth on that given day. And so sure enough, Christmas rolled around that school year, and the young man had gifted me this card. So because of that interaction, this CC Sabathia card has some special meaning to me. So put that in one touchdown. All of these cards I have in one touchdown, except for the Panini Select was just in top loader land. Now the rest of these cards are actually Brewer cards of CC Sabathia. The next one, actually the next two, I guess I can probably show these together. They're from 2008 Upper Deck Timeline. And so the one here on the left is a black and white card, and the one on the right is a colored card. And I didn't really know much about Upper Deck Timeline because that was during the era of the hobby where I was not collecting, so I didn't really know much about what was happening. But what I've found out, and maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but what I understand is that this was a 2008 product that Upper Deck did, and it wasn't released until the fall, like in November, and that's why it's a 2008 product that has CC Sabathia as a Brewer. So really love these cards. You don't see hardly any CC Sabathia cards wearing a Brewer uniform, so latched onto these. Really love both of them. I love the black and white color. Kind of makes a cool effect with the picture on the bottom with the red highlight. And then, of course, this is a beautiful photograph of CC throwing right down the heart of the picture. That's a cool photograph. Love that one. So these two cards definitely, maybe I'll put these up in the background. Definitely really really enjoy having those in my collection. And then the last one is Topps Black. This is a not the more rare number to 58 Topps Black, but this is a 2009 Topps Black retail from Walmart that I've gotten. This is my only Topps card of CC as a Brewer, and with the black border, it looks pretty sharp. So I picked this one up. So those are my 3 Brewers Sabathia cards to go along with these other ones that I have of him as a Yankee. But all of these cards, I really do treasure my Sabathia collection. Maybe I'll put this one up here too, and put the Topps Tribute card up over here. And then my Allen and Ginter card that was gifted to me by a student. All of these cards have special meaning to me, and really do remember that 2008 season for the Brewers fondly. And truly, no one can argue that CC Sabathia wasn't the main ingredient. We were one game, it came down to the last game of the season, and we needed to win, and we needed some help. I think we needed the Mets to lose. And CC took the mound on the last day of the season, and he beat the first place Chicago Cubs, pitched another complete game that day. And we all remember that day as Brewer fans. Brian Braun had a 2-run home run in the 8th inning to give us a 3-1 lead. But the real story of the day was CC Sabathia in late September, maybe even early October. I don't know what the date was, but you don't see guys going out there pitching complete games in that time of the season. But that's what CC did for us. He went 11-2 in those 17 starts, and we squeaked into the playoffs by 1 game. So I think it's pretty obvious that he was the reason we made the playoffs. Anyways, I've rambled on long enough about CC Sabathia. I appreciate all of you who are stuck around to the end and watch me blabber on about this man, but I love baseball, and this is the time of year where everything is exciting and fresh, and the Brewers are rained out tonight, so I thought I'd do a video to put me in a baseball mood anyways. So until next time, everybody, enjoy the hobby and stay true to yourself.